Hey everyone, over the last few days we've been having drops coming in from Twitch and we've been seeing more and more players in Tarkov. I figured we'd step it back a little bit and go straight to basics on some of the things within Tarkov. This video we're going to do exclusively about armor, chest rigs and stuff like that. Next few videos we're going to go and we're going to dive deep into other aspects of Tarkov. I know a video I released earlier, which I'll post here, we talked about hidden stashes within interchange. We got more of them coming up. I'm trying to do a lot of videos to sort of help a lot of the new players in different aspects of Tarkov. We normally upload every Thursday and Monday to YouTube. Every other day you can catch me live on Twitch. I hope this video helps you guys because this is going to be a long one. When we talk about armor, there are a lot of different things that go into it. You have your armor class, you have your durability, you got what zones they protect, and you have the negative aspects like the movement speed, the turn speed, and whatever negative ergonomics they might give you while you have it on, just like in real life. Talking about armor class, it starts off with 2 and it goes up to 6. Of course, 2 being the lowest armor class and 6 being the highest armor class. Different bullets can penetrate those armors. Some of them can't, some of them just damage, and that's when the durability comes into play. When starting out in Tarkov, you only really have access to the low levels of armor, which is perfectly fine. Once you hit level 10 and you get the flea market and you get some of these traders up, the whole world opens up for you. So when you're starting to play Tarkov, try to get level 10. Now, the easiest way I found is that if this is your first wipe, an easy way to get up to level 4 is to just go through the traders and examine every single item you could possibly examine. Go to fence, double click on the weapons that he has, and examine every individual part of each weapon you can. The easiest way is you can get level 4 that way, just by examining things. Now, it's not the most fun, it's kind of tedious to do, but with that, you'll get so much closer to level 10 and open up the flea market. And like as I said before, everything just kind of opens up for you once you get that flea market. You're able to get better armor, you're able to get better ammo, you're able to get just better parts and everything just all around. The flea market is a big thing in Tarkov. So when we go back to armor and we talk about armor, a big thing with armor is always the armor class, right? No matter what game you're playing, you got light, you got medium, you got heavy armor. Kind of the same thing for Tarkov. Tarkov works off of the Russian armor system when it comes to classing, and the Russian armor system goes from 1 to 6A. They have like 9 different armor classes within their structure that they use for their armor classes. Currently in Tarkov, there is no armor class 1, there's no armor class 6A, there's no, it just goes from 2 to 6. Currently, that's what we got. Currently, that's what we're kind of playing with. So, of course, the lower the armor class, the worse it is. The higher the armor class, the better it is. As I said before, starting out, you have access to armor class 2, and as you go, you'll get more and more armor. Also, you don't start off with the best ammo, so if you're going up against someone with like armor class 6, you're going to have to dump magazines into them. There's been a lot of times where I'm just sitting there and I'm just mag dumping into a dude, and after he's dead, I realized, okay, 1, I wasn't using the ammo I thought I was, because maybe my clip was sectioned off a little bit between, BT and a better ammo, or he was just rocking a Zabralo, which is a class 6 armor and just has like a massive amount of armor points. You just don't know. And with the Twitch drops, I'm not quite sure what armor they're going to be giving out, so you could be mag dropping a lot. I know a few of the Twitch drops have actually been giving out some really good ammo, so for those of you who are new to the game rocking that 995 ammo, you're going to drop bodies. Be sure to hold back when you're tapping that trigger finger a little bit. That way you can drop more people a lot sooner. After the armor class, we go into the armor zones. Once you lose a section of your body, you start taking hydration penalties. You can have exhaustion. There's a lot of different traumas you can go through in Tarkov, and when you look at your armors, look to see what protects what. There are some armors that are high classes, like the slick armor. It's class 6. It's a really good, strong armor. It repairs very well because it's just, you know, plate carrier, but it only protects your thorax. So it only protects up here, right? It doesn't protect your stomach. So when you lose your stomach in Tarkov, things that can happen, you get massive dehydration, you have massive energy loss over time. You also, once those both get to 0, you actually start taking damage over time too. It could be either of them, and if they're both at 0, you're taking a lot of damage. As you lose your energy, as you lose your hydration, energy specifically, you start, like, your screen just gets black and it goes, you know, you just keep getting in and out, and it's really weird. So you definitely don't want to have any freaking energy loss, especially as you're going to an extraction. I've had multiple times where I went to an extraction, I'm having energy loss, and like my guy's just going like, in and out, and like the screen's getting black. And it's also really good when you make it out on those. And depending on how long you play Tarkov, you're gonna have a few of them. Definitely want to make sure your hydration and your energy are protected, and you're looking at them also, especially if you have a 0 and you have a blacked out stomach while wearing, you know, your armor. So now that we talked about the protection zones that armors have, we can also talk about the durability, right? So if you do use bullets that don't over penetrate the armor, what happens is it just does damage to the armor. And if you're using like a buckshot against a Zabralo, you're just going to damage the armor a little bit at a time until you get the armor to 0. Once the armor's at 0, you actually have a 100% chance of penetrating the armor. As you damage the armor and the durability goes down, the penetration chance goes up higher. So then that way you can actually do damage to the person and not just the armor. Along with durability, you have other like negative effects. Your movement speed, your turn speed, and your ergonomics tend to suffer, much like real life. If you have this big bulky armor on, you can't necessarily run all over the place. Same with Tarkov. The lighter the armor, of course, the less negative effects they're going to have. But if you're rocking something like the Redut, the Fort Redut, you're going to move really slow, you're going to freaking turn really slow, and your ergonomics is going to suffer horribly. And ergonomics for the new people here, it's pretty much how much energy you use when you're scoped in. You have a little bar. You have, actually now they made it to where there's 2 bars. You have your stamina bar, and then like you have like your scoped in your arm stamina. They call it the arm stamina bar. What ergonomics does is it determines how fast or how slow that bar diminishes and returns. Ergonomics, depending on how many times you're scoped in, if you're sniping or something along those lines, ergonomics could be a big thing. If you go prone, ergonomics helps out a lot because it just diminishes less with going prone. Other than armor, there are things called chest rigs, where they are actually armored rigs that you would put on that carry things unlike the other just generic rigs. Of course, these are armored. Now you can't stack armor and an armored rig together. They used to do it, I think patch like 11 or something like that, you were able to do it. You're able to stack specific ones on top of each other, but now you can't. If you want to use an armor, use an armor. If you want to use an armored rig, use an armored rig. In my experience, you tend to get the armored rigs depending on which one they are. If you have the 6B5, 6B15, along those lines, in the chest rigs, you tend to get them back a lot more in insurance. So they're armor class 4. They have a few slots in them. They're not the best when it comes to rigs. However, I'm always guaranteed to get them back on insurance, so I know other people aren't taking them. Now, there are some really good chest rigs, like the AVS a lot of people like to take, the TV rig, the Tech. You know, a lot of the armored rigs, people take them because they might take up like say 12 spots, but within those rigs they can give you 18, 23 additional spaces. When you're looking at people and you're looking at looting, you can just pile other items into this other rig that you have while having like just additional spots. So while it's in your inventory, it doesn't give you any of the negative effects other than the weight. The weight will be in another video that we'll talk about. It's also something to note when using armors, being as that you can't go over 5 kilograms as of right now. If you go over that, you take massive energy recovery losses. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Most of us nowadays can't carry that much weight. Of course, if you're like a military trained thing, which you will be eventually in Tarkov, think of your level 1 character as like a brand new character in like Dungeons and Dragons. You know absolutely nothing And then as you level everything up, you get better and better and better. So things will be easier for you to do. And of course, as you level up your strength, as you level up other skills, you're able to carry more, you're able to run faster, you're able to do just everything a lot better. And it doesn't penetrate class 4. If it does, it takes like 2 bullets to penetrate class 4. So if they're using that VPO, it's going to take them a lot longer to kill me than, you know, if I was using a class 3, which it, you know, like a pack of armor or a 3M armor, and it just penetrates straight through, and the freaking things can end up one tapping you because it's 68 damage. But those are bullets. We'll talk about them in another video. Today we're talking about armor. As I said, what I like to bring, I bring armor class 4. Anything less, I feel I'm probably gonna die. Even most players now, the further we get into wipe, they're gonna be bringing in better ammo. And if you're not bringing in something to take at least what scavs have, you're definitely not gonna last against some players. And players, as I said, now are starting to get more stuff. Stated earlier that some of the drops you're getting 995 ammo in, and 955 ammo can penetrate everything. I think it's everything other than 6. They can penetrate everything other than 6, and even at class 6, it's a very high penetration chance. With 995, it has low damage. It's like 40 something damage, but it can still do, it rips through your armor. Armor doesn't exist in 995, and with drops, they're giving out 60 rounds of these things. So if you place those bullets correctly, you could be dropping 60 people. We talked a little bit about what armors I bring in. I normally, if it's not class 4, I'm not bringing it into a raid, just because most scav rounds can penetrate a class 3. Like some of the best scav rounds, like I think the VPO, the 366, can penetrate the class 3. They can go through class 3, so that's why I always bring class 4. At least I know the scav rounds aren't going to kill me in one shot, unless of course they headshot me. Some of the scavs, they seem like they have aimbot, because I swear I can be 40-50 yards away, they turn right at me and they freaking one tap me in the face with a shotgun, and it just happens. You know what I mean? That's Tarkov for you. You just got Tarkoved. A big thing between the armored rig and the armored, just the regular armors, is I feel that the rigs have less negatives when it comes to ergonomics, like your movement speed and your turn speed, because if you look at some of the better armored rigs, so like a tactic you can pull off of some raiders, and you can get, I think they're giving tactics out for the drops. It's an armor class 5, but your movement speed is reduced by 7%, your turn speed is reduced by 3%, and your ergonomics is reduced by 3. Some of the best class 5 armor, so we'll go with Killa's armor, right? Killa's armor has 9 movement speed, 3 turn speed, and 5 ergonomics. So there are some chest rigs that are just better than armored rigs when it comes to some of their negative debuffs that they give on you. Some of the best armor in the game currently, in my opinion, and what a few other people's opinion, it happens to be Gen 4. The reason we say Gen 4 armor is probably the best armor is not only does it protect your thorax, not only does it protect your stomach, it also protects your arms. Now, when we talk about having your arms damaged or having your arms blacked out, and what blacked out means is that they're pretty much kind of useless, you tend to shake a lot when you're looking down, you know, your barrel of the gun and everything. You tend to shake, you tend to not, you know, hit your shots as much. The fact that it protects your arms is really good, especially if you go to an end game like labs, where raiders can shoot you like around the corner of a wall. They can just see your arm through a corner or like a slit, and they just shoot you. You'll have some armor there to protect you from some of the raider rounds. Raiders in labs, for the most part, from what I've seen, they use a lot of flesh damage, so a lot of war mage damage for those guns. Some M80s, just, you know, the more fleshier rounds. I have seen some eagle neck. That's been a little far between, being as that's like Killa's ammo. The Gen 4 with the protection of your arms is extremely good, and of course you won't have access to that until later down the road, especially when you're starting out. When you're looking for armor, right, we're going to kind of sum it all up. Armor class is a huge thing, but also durability. If you can kind of find a good little medium ground when you're starting out, I think one of the best class 2 armors is the 6B2, just because it protects your thorax, your stomach, mech armor class 2, but it's a durability 80. So it's going to take someone a lot longer to penetrate if they're using that bad ammo than say 3M armor or pack armor, which are only at 40 and 50. You're almost doubled what their durability is. And sometimes having the better durability is sometimes better than having the higher armor class. So like 80 durability is really good for the armor class 2. And then even the Karasa, starting out, I believe you have access to the Karasa. It has 70 durability. So when you're looking at the other class 3s, it's almost doubled what those are too. So there's just, when you're looking at the armor, you also want to look at the durability of it. Once the armor gets to about, I want to say half the durability, you need to get rid of it. If it's only half as effective, you're barely stopping bullets. You might stop a pebble, someone threw something at you, but other than that, even before that, I say half, but even if it gets like 75%, I think at a certain point, traders won't take your armor anymore. They know that it's bad armor, so you want to get to it before it gets to kind of like the bad spot. Anyways, guys, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please like and subscribe. It means the world. We are currently doing a giveaway at 500 subscribers, and then of course at 1,000 subscribers. 500 subscribers, we're going to give away a weapon case. So if we can get there, you know, freaking free weapon case for whoever subscribed. And then once we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to do a thick items case. For those of you who are new to Tarkov, it is a last swipe was like $16 million rubles. I was gonna say dollars, 16 million rubles for the thick weapons, not thick weapons, thick items case. So you know, it's worth a lot in the game. And even a weapons case right now, I think it's going for like 2 million. It's some good stuff. I'm hoping I'm bringing some good information to you guys. If I'm saying anything wrong, or if you have other advice to give new players, please comment below. Let's help everybody out. This game is blowing up so much, and I love it for how difficult it is and how much of a learning curve there is. It's just something we can do just to give back and help out the community. Anyways, guys, Unholy Lucifer here. You can catch me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of the places. I will chat with you guys later about ammo. Have a good night.